Sir Keir Starmer set his stall out today. The Labour leader is hell-bent on scrapping the only deterrent stopping illegal migrants from pouring in over our southern border. Yes, he wants to do away with the Tories' Rwanda plan, calling it a gimmick and a waste of money.
£600 million for a few hundred removed. That is gesture politics. And Britain can do better. Labour will do better. We will end this farce. We will restore serious government to our borders, tackle this problem at source, and replace the Rwanda policy permanently.
So what is Sir Keir Starmer's great master plan, I hear you ask? Smash the gangs, of course. We know he wants to label the people smugglers as terrorists. And in a rare policy announcement, he spelled out plans for a new border security command made up of MI5 agents, border force officers, police specialist investigators and prosecutors.
Good ambition is never enough on its own. But I've seen how, with determination, with leadership, with single-minded focus, agencies can work together and deliver results. And not just within one country either. We can cooperate across borders, and that's not some kind of weakness. It's absolutely essential.
But could he be any more naive? We're already paying France almost £500 million. And for what? And if migrants in Italy decide to make the journey to Northern Europe, is Giorgia Meloni going to stop them? On this very show earlier in the week, we spoke to two illegal migrants camping in tents in West London. Listen to what they had to say about the threat of being deported to Rwanda.
You would rather go to Sudan than Rwanda?
Rwanda, Sudan. Me Sudanese. Go Sudan. Yeah. No go Rwanda.
Why you go Rwanda?
Rwanda, my one country.
Yeah.
What doing Rwanda?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody is scared about Rwanda. Everybody is not right about this. Everybody say that. That's not right. If I come from my country, your country, why you send me another country? Another country, different language, different legend, different everything. Why?
So it was revealed today that deportation flights could be set to take off in just 6 weeks. But from day one of a Labour government, the deterrent would go up in smoke. Starmer says that the Tories are currently offering a Cinderella service at our borders. But Labour are at it as well, and this plan to stop the boats is the stuff of fairy tales. Alex Armstrong, Sir Keir Starmer, his plan, he's going to scrap Rwanda, even if it is working. That's what he says.
Well, there will be no deterrent, will there? I mean, we just saw it on the VT there. There's two guys saying, I would rather go back to my home country than go to Rwanda. What does that tell you? If that message is broadcast to people coming over the channel, then they won't make that trip in the first place and put their lives in danger. So this Rwanda plan could end up saving lives, which Keir Starmer obviously isn't mentioning. Funnily enough as well, there will be no deportations under Keir Starmer's new plan. And it sounds like this new command unit is very similar to the one that Oxford University have also highlighted, which is the current small boats operational command that exists today. Well, this already works. This is already in place. So what is new here is that he's saying MI5 are going to get involved. Well, what are they going to do? Go into a foreign country and start an illegal war and start going after these gangs undercover? I mean, come on. This whole plan that Keir Starmer's got sounds strong and it sounds tough because he's using words like MI5, James Bond. It sounds very sexy. But it's not going to deliver. Even Oxford University saying it's unlikely to be a game changer. And on top of that, we've lost our deterrent.
Joanna Darcy. At the end of the day, it does up the ante a bit if you do get MI5 involved. I'm not saying that there aren't already things in place. But obviously, if you're a sitting government and you can call upon different forces within the country and also have that autonomy and influence potentially to sit around the table with other partners across Europe, for example, then it could potentially work. And I just think that, you know, you've got to start by actually tackling this at the root rather than, for me, I feel like Rwanda might work for a little bit. You know, I'm not kind of scared to admit that, but there's only a certain number of people that you can send to Rwanda. And when you've got over 370 million...
But should he get rid of it, though? If you, as you said, it might work for a bit. Should he be saying that he's going to get rid of it? After all, if somebody fails asylum, there is no other country to send them to. So if they fail asylum, they can't be sent back to their home country. A third country will have to be part of the mix. Where is he planning to send people?
Well, I think that if he's a strategic leader and he actually tackles this the right way, then he will look at cost-benefit analysis. You know, he'll sit and think, OK, so it might work for a bit and it might work as a deterrent, but is it actually worth spending 370 £70 million on
This is the same,
a small number of
This is the
people.
same Labour Party. You go, oh, Britain, a tiny little nation that doesn't mean anything anymore. We're such a small little island. We need the international community. This is the same Labour Party saying that now we're going to be the ones to stop the small boats. Are we hell? We are not. We haven't got the according to Labour activists, to go into these countries in Africa
do you think
tackle these migration.
Is he making a valid point, though? He's talking about...
No, I think what he's doing, it's called politics, really. He's planning what's going to happen in 6 weeks' time when the first flights, we're told, are going to take place to Rwanda. Now, he's guessing, I think probably correctly, that it's going to be a messy business. There's going to be a tremendous amount of legal activity, a lot of demonstrations and so on. So instead of finding himself in that position where suddenly people would turn to him, what about you? What are you going to do? He already prepared the ground. We also regard illegal immigration as an extremely important issue. We've been talking about it for 6 weeks. So, I mean, he's preparing that particular argument. And what the mistake is often to imagine that people are sort of taking all these things down, then they're saying, yes, but if he was in power. It's not to do with power. We're in the middle of an election campaign. It's in slow motion. But what you're seeing is a very careful, coordinated plan by Labour. You may think it's not coordinated. You may think it's not careful. But they're trying to lay down their position on the assumption that it's going to be a messy business. Now, I think that's pretty shrewd.
He is shrewd. He is very shrewd. But the point is that where is he going to send people who fail asylum? It's all very well in being shrewd and knowing that it's an election, so he's campaigning.
Back to their country.
That's quite important.
Where is he going to send
No, he's not Prime Minister.
Back to their country. Like, he's not...
But not everybody can go back to their country. So if somebody fails asylum, so for example, somebody from Afghanistan, you can't send them back to Afghanistan. So where will you send them? If you're going to get rid of Rwanda and a third country, where are they going to go?
But assuming that assumes...
I'm just asking Joanna. Joanna, answer that. Hold on, I'll come back to you.
But it assumes it's going to work, though. You're assuming it's going to work.
But you need a third country, so where will they go?
Well, I think that will be in very, very small cases. I think it's completely different.
Where will they go?
There'll be other opportunities for him to send people to other countries, but I think that argument, specifically talking about Rwanda, about people who haven't even been processed yet, that is different. When you're making a legal case for where you're going to send people and the third country, I think he'll be able to get that over the line without half the country even being able to notice where these people are going.
What's he going to do with the people he's currently got here as well? I mean, what's happening with them? Is he just going to, is it going to be an amnesty where they're just going to go through now?
No, you've got to, it's for the sake of argument, this is an election campaign where the leader of the opposition doesn't have to provide all the answers. He's not in charge. So there is a difference between what you're expecting of him and then saying, but what's he going to do in power, than what he's doing at the moment. He's in the middle, I think, of an election campaign. Now, there are different rules that apply to that, meaning he can't, in fact, pull levers of power. He's not in power. Right? What he's got to do is to make sure that when the government stumbles, he pushes them further into the mud. That's what they...
But don't people want to know what he's going to do, Alex? Don't we want to know what they're doing?
We'll hopefully learn more with the manifesto.
Sure.
You know, that's his chance. I mean, we're still waiting for it, but, you know, I hope it comes, and I hope it does give detail, because there's a lot of detail missing here, frankly. There's not a lot of explaining. You're right, John, it's politics.
But there are details the government aren't giving us, you see. We don't know now.
I absolutely agree with you on that point.
No, we don't. We know very little about what's happening in 6 weeks' time.
Can I just tell you where they will go, though?
Where will they go?
They'll go exactly where Patrick found. They will go onto the streets. They will get these tent cities like you're seeing in Paris, in Los Angeles, and other parts of the world. And the solution for mayors like Sadiq Khan is to build housing specifically for them, while the rest of us in London still can't afford to buy a home.
I actually think it's quite unfair for you to be asking specific countries of where these people are going. And I'd kind of echo John's point that his strategy, because it's his job at the moment in opposition, like you said, government in waiting, to set the strategy of how he actually wants to tackle the wider issue. But to kind of ask for specific countries when he's not even at the table yet to make these...
I'm just saying...
Well, you said where they're going to go.
He has been an opposition leader for quite a few years.
The question is, if it's not a specific country, where are they going to go? Is it going to be in this country? Is it going to... He needs to give us a bit more information. I think the British public need it. We want to know, if you're going to scrap Rwanda, a lot of people are saying it's an OK scheme. If you're going to get rid of it, where are you going to... There's a big gap.
You're asking two completely different questions.
No, I'm asking one question.
No, because...
And I'm looking for an answer.
No, because Keir Starmer is tackling the question about people's processing before... People wanted to ship them off to Rwanda before they're even processed.
That is another question.
And you're asking the question about people who have actually failed their asylum. And that's two completely different things.
But it's still the same question. He needs to answer the question, whether it's one question or two different questions. He needs to answer some of these...
He was being asked.
Where's it going to go?
We do need to have a plan.
John Sargent, last word to you, because I've got
Okay, no, the
to go
point
to
about it is that we still know so little about how many people are going to be pulled in, and they are at the moment. What's going to happen to the hunger strikers who are saying we're not going to eat anything? What's going to happen between now and 6 weeks on the first flight going? Now, what you mustn't do, particularly if you want to win an election, as Keir Starmer does, is throw everything in to the last question. Don't do that. Wait for it to play out.
He's not answering any questions, is he?
But it's, you know, you can say, oh, it's all naive, it's stupid. It isn't stupid. This is cleverly worked out.
I think it's quite naive, and I think that when Keir Starmer takes over, if he takes over, which I suspect he will, because John Curtis is never wrong, that if he takes over, we will all be asking him, where are they going to go?